Hello friends and adventurers, and welcome back to Sally Cat Plays Exile Escape from the Pit. We're on a boat. Mostly because I don't want to have to deal with either of these two guys just now. Last time we raided the Slith Island fort, got their plans and delivered them to Fort Dranlon. There's nothing much to be said about the loot haul from last time, though Zoe did get an iron slith spear, which has slightly better damage than the steel spear. It is two-handed, though. I may switch over to that one when I decide I don't need the shield anymore. Or maybe I'll hold out until we find a steel version. Anyway, our next major objective is to go in this swampy area over here and try to find another slith outpost. But first... my mouse is really lagging lately. I'm not sure why that is. That is not actually helpful. Also, hopefully the sound is coming out through for you guys. I am going to have to save and quit and reload or something. This is infuriating. Sorry about that, my emulator was doing something stupid. It should be fixed now. Anyway, something I found in my exploring that I thought you guys might want to see. There is a small, serene underground lake here. On its shore is a small shrine. The shrine has apparently been long abandoned. The altar is bare. However, you do find, in a side alcove, a large, beautiful quartz crystal, which you take. Very nice. That brings us up to 4 crystals. And that is all there is to be found here. Now, I would like to find a spot to get off the boat that doesn't include too much swamp, because as you can see, walking through swamp does poison us. There is a stone pylon here covered with strange pictograms. And let's do a quick cure all poison. And perhaps a save. And we enter Swamp City. Large pylon here covered with runes. If I cast a long light, am I going to regret it? I will cast a not-so-long light to draw a little less attention to myself at first. Because this Swamp City opens up with a narrow bridge over a moat of sorts, and I kinda don't trust that. And that is why I don't trust that. Ouch. Okay, time to break up and start hitting guys in the face. One of these days I'm going to get book some 4th level spells. But meanwhile, Major Blessing! And Curse All! And Kaylee doesn't actually have a lot to do right now.
Cool.
Spellcasters must die. See, River does have a few more throwing knives. And a halfway decent chance to hit stuff now. I said a halfway decent chance to hit stuff. Thank you very much, River. Simon, can you do anything useful? Ooh, that's a pretty good wound spell. Kaylee should be able to finish off one of these guys. Very nicely done. Hopefully the sound is coming out alright for you guys. I realized a little too late that I had my headphones plugged in during recording of the last one, so you could hear me, but you couldn't hear anything in the game. Not that you're actually missing all that much. I am a bit concerned that some of the louder sound effects might come out a bit crackly. But we'll see how this episode turns out, and if you guys have any complaints, please let me know and I'll turn the volume down or maybe find an external speaker I can plug in. More food. I do like swiping food that I don't have to pay for. I mean, in-game, not in real life. Well, I mean, in real life, everyone likes free pizza, but I do not advocate stealing food. If this place is also going to be full of slith warriors, might be another case where the dungeon takes a couple of rounds to get through. Spend a few less spell points to cast Bless Party, because we really don't need Major Blessing against one or two slith grunts here and there. Ooh, there's a door. Okay. There's a door up here we'll check out in a bit. And there's some guys here we need to kill off very quickly. Mal, you can take a fireball, right? You can take a fireball a lot worse than the Slith Priest can. But you can still take 2 fireballs to the face and live, unlike the other 2 guys. Ooh, Steel Flail. I wonder if that's any better than what book has. Steel Flail, Steel Mace. 7-3, and ooh, 14. That is quite a lot better. It is a 2-handed weapon though, so book's defense will go down a bit. If book starts really hurting in battle, we can switch back. Does Simon also use maces? It's been so long since I've given him a weapon, and yes, he does. Not that he can actually hit the broadside of a barn most of the time. What a lovely little plaza the sliths have here. Yeah, that's the kind of damage I'm talking about. All my frontline fighters are doing damage in the high teens. That is great. This huge cavern is a slith farm of sorts. Cave fish and strange fungus are being raised in long, water-filled trenches. Dull-eyed slith civilians tend the food, barely even noticing your presence. I guess those must be the kind of, off-screen NPCs that don't actually show up in-game, we just kind of assume they're there. Unlike this warrior dude, who clearly does notice us, and is killed for his trouble. These light green guys, I think, do count as slith fighters rather than civilians. They're just lower ranking than the warriors and generally less powerful. And they don't have that ranged throwing spear attack. Interesting note, even though slith warriors in this game do have some ability to fling spears at you, you don't have access to throwing spears for your party members. We can find the occasional thrown weapons like darts or throwing knives, but javelins and the like don't show up until the remakes. Unless they're being thrown in your face. Because I don't think these sliths are supposed to be, like, throwing rocks at you. There are some enemies who do throw rocks at you, they come in later. I've heard it suggested that it's actually a pretty good idea to get your fighters a couple ranks in priest spells, just so they have access to the wound spell, which is a rather good ranged attack. It does physical damage, and I think is not much affected by damage reduction. It's fairly short range for a spell, but still, if you can get a few squares away from your if you can get within sight of your enemy, even if you can't get within sword range, it's good to have something to take them out with. This room is a slith nursery. Long pools are provided for the little ones to eat, grow, and play with toy spears in. You can't see any of the little darlings now, because when you entered, they fled, diving down into little tunnels at the bottoms of the pools. Oh, yay, this is a slith with 5th level priest spells. Out of the way, spellcasters! Oh, it's a regular slith priest, not a high priest. Okay, you think your blessing is good? Try mine. Try 3 swords to the face. Now you did. I could say that Major Blessing might have been overkill here, but with 2 slith priests, not really. With my playstyle, frontline fighters do tend to get more XP, though mages can certainly pull their weight once they get Fireball. Priests can have a somewhat harder time leveling up until we get to areas with lots of undead, because they have a couple of good undead damaging spells. Oh, come on. Also, at higher levels, priests do get access to some pretty good area of effect spells. And the aforementioned wound is a rather good short-range ranged attack. You don't have to worry about ammo like you do with bow and arrows, though you do need to worry a little about spell points. It's not so bad when spell points do recharge over time. These pools are the nucleus of a large slith hatchery. You are surrounded by hundreds of eggs. likely to grow one day into happy, healthy, somewhat psychotic daddy and mommy sliths. Very little is keeping you from, with a brief spurt of violence, doing the slith tribes in this area a great deal of damage. I've always been a little iffy about this level of child murder, but let's see what happens if we do go ahead with it. It takes about 10 minutes. Soon you have decimated the nursery. The egg warmers, and all of the nasty brood. As you strike the last blows, the chief of this town and his entourage arrive. They scream in grief and fury. Then they attack. Oh well. While I'm not always one to shy away from a good boss fight, that might have been a bad idea. Please let me get to my file menu. There we go. So we're going to leave the little darlings alone for now. Killing their parents is probably enough. Okay, so we've got this big impressive looking building. Health and spell points are still in good enough shape that I feel comfortable luring the sliths out to deal with one by one. Ha ha ha. Okay, need to do a bit of healing. We don't have major heal yet. I'm kind of impressed at the amount of hits Kaylee's getting in, to be honest. Woohoo! Okay, 2 rounds of nobody else coming out. We might be in the clear. Got your standard evil altar. Nothing special. Okay, none of these doors are locked. That is cool. That one is, and that one is. Aha! Stone on the floor looks loose. Kaylee, can you fix that? I may need to level Kaylee's traps ability up a bit. She's not doing so well lately. Okay, she's got roughly 50% chances, which is tolerable, if not great. Oh, right, I have to look at the chests, not walk into them. Which game am I playing? Poison Helm's stone mace is worthless. Poison and Helm may not be worth much either, but could be worth selling. So, cure poison on Kaylee. And again. And you are locked. And I'd rather go recharge my spell points before coming back here. So let's see if we can sneak out without attracting too much attention. And this looks like a nice cozy spot to rest. Ah yes. Having a nap surrounded by fetid swamp is so refreshing. And nice to see that we don't have the same kind of welcoming committee this time. So let's try unlocking you. Couple of human-style beds for some reason. Need lockpick equipped, is that so? Ah yeah, that's right, I can only have 2 of weapon, shield, and lockpicks equipped. Pick breaks. Okay, let's go back to spells. Definitely need to train up Kaylee's thieving skills a little. Oh man. Come on, unlock the door. There we go. A bolt of light zaps you and does minor damage. Lovely. These are pedestals with books, but we can't do anything with them. The only thing we can do is walk across the floor and get zapped. More loose stones. Ouch! Kaylee, do better. Oh, that was a very nasty trap. I really hope that I can cheese my way through this and not have to come back later after improving Kaylee's skills. Okay, that one's disarmed. Okay, that one didn't roast the whole party, it just threw a bunch of knives at Kaylee, which is also bad. Try that one again. Okay, still failed and still got knives in the face, but I didn't die. I will accept that. Ow. On this pedestal is a heavy leather-bound tome. The pages are covered with tight slith pictograms, written in gold ink. The book radiates power. Fancy. On a pedestal here is a large onyx key. That could be useful somewhere. I hate these trap floor corridors. Now we're out. We have thoroughly explored this area. Back to Fort Dranlon to get our rewards. After we deal with 1 or 2 more guys. And we're out. And now to walk back through this lovely, glorious swamp. Oh, hey, these guys are still waiting for us. Need to not die. Fighting off random enemies when we're already wounded and at low... well, not that low spell points. Those guys were easy work. These guys I do not think will be. Come on, let me in. Okay, I believe it was Meyerwin the Mage who wanted the tome. Slith tome, right here. Tome, I did steal it. I have it. She reverently takes the book. Thank you. Understanding slith magic will be a great aid. She spends several hours teaching all of you how to cast Dispel Barrier. Out of gratitude, I will also teach the spell to anyone you may add to your group later. Wow, that is very generous of you. And so now, Kaylee can't cast it because she doesn't have enough mage spell levels. But River has Dispel Barrier available. Cool beans. So I don't think we actually have any consequences for using it here. Boop! And it's gone. So that will be a great help in some of the later dungeons. Moving on, I suppose it's time we deal with the sliths outside somehow. Just try not to die. Wait, so... well, I can't scroll back up in the log, but it said something about slith warriors, priests, and mage. Okay, there's 4 of them. That's not so bad. Ooh, lemonwood bow, that's actually pretty nice. Kaylee, we might be able to get you in some archery skill pretty soon. Assuming we want to focus on that and not on the lockpicking and the traps and the spells and what have you. Awesome. This time we are able to rest and not get interrupted. Which means we will be well prepared to take on whatever this is. You find a slith fish farm here. There is a small lake being stocked and fished by a large group of human slaves. They wear thick shackles and are watched and beaten by a small group of overseers. Well, now we can't have that. With your help, the slaves overcome most of their overseers, take the keys to their chains, and free themselves. They get away because you defend them from... a large group of slith Zerakai arrive and attack. And put one of their spellcasters right up in front like a stupid. Okay, that's one down. Let's check status, see what the other thing over here is. It's another group of slaves. Ha! One of them, as she runs, presses something into your hand. So, basically lather, rinse, repeat. So now we are up to 5 crystals, and I believe there are 6 to be found. So, somewhere in this general vicinity, we should be able to find something. Now, do these do anything after we've killed everybody? There was a large combat here, only a mild mess remains. Okay, so they do not regenerate. We've got 2 more camps here that I can liberate when I feel like getting some more XP, but... Perhaps we'll come back here later, off camera. Now, where, oh where, could that final crystal be? There is a fair bit of this shoreline we haven't explored yet. For those of us who love running around in twisty tunnels. Ugh, there's way too much swamp around here. Oh, and too many sliths over there. Here maybe? No. Up over here somewhere-ish? Again, no. Still no. We are finding only poison. Gotta fix that. Much better. At some point tonight, eventually, I will find you, little crystal. Oh. Here's a possibility. And a battle I don't really want right now. Fine. Aha! Here's something. Okay, think I got it now. You find a small lair by the cave wall. As you approach, a drake crawls out of it. You see it is an old, decrepit creature, apparently no threat to you. When it gets close, it says in a wavering voice, "Greetings, humans." Interesting, a drake who is not trying to roast us alive and eat us. It talks to you happily for a while, apparently thrilled to have intelligent company. After a while, it says, "It has been forever since I've had any sort of real food. I've just been eating mice. If you'd give me some better food, I'd make it worth your while." Well, all right. It wolfs down half your food and thanks you. Apparently drakes like mushrooms and whatever the heck our rations are made of. Then it produces a small, shining quartz crystal from a hiding place in its nest. I don't know what this is, but I sense it's valuable. Now it's yours. Awesome sauce. And I suppose we did have some of those dried fish rations from the Slith Island, which, to be fair, I would probably prefer eating dried fish to eating mice. So, Slith forts raided, crystals collected. Let's make our way back to Kotra for a little bit. Try to avoid all the Slith raiders that we see on the shore there. Wait, we don't actually need to go into Kotra, we need to go north of Kotra to the Crystal Cave. The sight before you takes your breath away. This large hidden cave is filled with large, flawless quartz crystals, covering the floor and walls. They catch your light and reflect it back in a blinding rainbow. The crystals hum and vibrate gently. The sound and motion is almost, but not quite soothing. It's not hard to figure out what the problem is. Near the cave entrance, vandals have broken off a bunch of the crystals. The damage is interfering with the soothing effect of the crystal vibrations. Well, we've got 6 broken off chunks of crystal here. Let's see if we can do anything. You carefully place the 6 crystals back into the places, and they fuse back on. Magic! The vibrations turn soothing and energizing in a sudden, powerful burst, filling you with strength. After reaching a powerful crescendo, they calm down again, settling at a level that is merely pleasant. However, in the initial burst, they had a beneficial effect on you. Awesome! We gained a bunch of levels, and maybe got some healing. Also, this protected cave is a brilliant place to rest and not be bothered by any monsters. So, on that note, have a good one, everyone. I will see you later.